Welcome to Quick Bytes, the lunchtime live stream with your tech integration specialist, Scott Conway. I want to welcome you for joining me today live with our next session. This one is going to focus on Cami. It is a PDF annotation tool. If you are joining us live, you do have the link at the top of the slide there to ask questions during this session, and I will try to answer them before we close it out. So as I said, this is going to be a brief introduction and demonstration of Cami, which is a PDF annotation tool. It is not necessarily classified as an editor, as you really can't edit the raw text of the PDF. But what we will be able to demonstrate is that you have this kind of annotation tool that puts a layer on top of the PDF document that you have. Now, in a previous episode, I did a demonstration of the Adobe Scan app as well as the iOS Notes app. And both of those apps have the ability to take a physical document and convert it into a digital PDF, which you can then upload to Google Drive. So you can check that out in my YouTube channel and see that demonstration. And we're actually going to utilize the document that I scanned in that episode for today's demonstration. All right. I'm going to cut over to a Drive folder, and you can see that the scan is already currently in there from the other episode. And before I go on any further, I do want to say that this application, Cami, does have a free version and a premium version. So it is classified as a freemium. If your organization is just trying this out and starting, you can download and install the extension in Google Chrome. You can also use it directly from the web. It also does have a built-in function for Drive. Now, as an organizational user, if you do pay for this, you get a few extra added benefits, and that I will try to talk about or show today. You can see in the upper tray here where my extensions are. I do have the Cami icon. So there's a couple different ways that we can start with this. If you want, we can just start right from the Cami extension. I click on it, and you may need to sign in. You may need to sign in with Google. You may need to authenticate your account first before you get to this screen. But this is the launching page for Cami itself. You can see I have the EDU version in the upper left-hand corner. And there's a couple things that we can do that we'll talk about today. The OCR, split and merge are two options for the EDU license that we'll talk about probably in a different demonstration, not for today. I can open directly from Google Drive. If I have a document like I just showed you I can open directly from Drive. I can open from the computer that I'm on right now if I wanted to. I can also create a Google Classroom assignment, and this is one of those EDU license benefits, is that I can take a PDF that I have as a worksheet and I can assign it in Google Classroom right here from Cami. And so each student would get their own copy, just like you push out an assignment in Google Classroom, and they would open up that document, that PDF, and they would be able to utilize Cami as well to edit and annotate, to annotate that document, mark it up, and you'll see some of the benefits of that today. So you do have the option to push it out through Google Classroom as a Cami assignment. And you'll see reflexively you can do that from Google Classroom. If you're in Google Classroom as an EDU license user, you'll see the option to create a Cami assignment, and it does the same thing as it would do from here. And at the last, I have at the bottom a new blank page if I wanted to start fresh. This is a good white space, I'll call it, where you could start drawing, you could start documenting something, typing, drawing pictures, annotating. If you had a touchscreen device, this is a great tool for kind of just a whiteboard, a digital whiteboard where you can draw, mark up, and do different things with it. You might want to use that as an out-of-the-box type experience as well. So I'm going to go back into my demo file because I want to show that I can right-click also on this document, go down to Open With, and over to Annotate with Cami. And that will convert that document to be used with Cami, and it will open up in a new window, as you can see here. And there is the scan that I took yesterday with the Adobe Scan app. And it is rendered as a nice little PDF. And I want to just briefly discuss the tools on the left today, and that's really what we're going to focus on. So starting from the top, I have the select tool. I got the hand tool that I can use to kind of move up, move down. select annotations if there's certain annotations or layers to this that I want to select and move or do things with. I can do that. There is a dictionary. You can take, if I see if I can get this to work correctly, I'm going to try and zoom in. You can see that I have the zoom function here. It makes it a little easier to read. If I highlight a word with the dictionary tool on, it's going to provide a dictionary for me and definitions for that word. So a nice little tool for students who are, as they're working, if they get to a word they don't understand, they can use the built-in dictionary tool. There is also a text-to-speech. I know I mentioned the OCR tool. I think this document actually is probably ready to go. It's pretty well formatted for this to work. You can come down and just click the read page. Chromebooks are an integral part of the educational environment. Now, I'm not sure if you could hear that necessarily, but it was reading the entire document from start to finish. I stopped it, obviously, after 2 little segments there, but it will read. So it does convert to text to speech and act as a screen reader for students. And there's a couple different things you can do here, changing the voice, the speed of the text, or the speed of the spoken text. A couple nice little built-in features there. Moving down from that, we have the markup tool. You have a text highlighter. So if I take that text highlighter and I want to select a statement and let go, it instantly highlights that text in green or whatever color I choose. I do also have a box highlighter, strike through, and underline. So I got a couple different markup tools. So if I'm going to kind of use this as a way to provide feedback for a student, or if a student is in need of highlighting the main point of an article or of a paragraph, they can do that with the highlighter, the markup tool. Moving below that, we have the comment tool, so you can enter into a text comment. So if I do this, you'll see there's a little dialog box that pops up. It does also allow me for voice typing. And if you look here, I can also leave voice comments, video comments. I can even do a screen capture. And I've got different colors, obviously, for the comments. So if I want to color code my comments, I can do that as well. Moving down below that, I have the text box option here, where I can insert a text box, and I can drag points around to that, expand it. I've got different font size, text color, pretty simple, but useful. We do also have an equation editor or built-in little symbols that we can add. So if you're doing some math or science and you need to use, or even music, you can include these symbols in your work as an overlay to this document. Do have some drawing tools here. You got your thickness, your transparency, and then obviously your color. You do also have a shape tool. You've got the rectangle, ellipse, triangle, and then your insert line or your freehand line. Again, you have transparency and different color tool here. Also have an eraser function. You can erase all annotations, and you can also erase your drawings and your shapes. So once you click on that and then you click out here, let's see, it'll take off that highlight that I had done earlier. You can also insert images as overlays to your document. You can pull in from the local computer, you can pull in from Google Drive, and you can also pull in from Google Search. It does also have a signature functionality. If you need to sign a PDF, someone sends you a PDF that needs a signature, you can do that, and you can see that you can either upload an image, you can draw a signature if you're on a device that has touchscreen, or, and this is a nice little feature for those of you that don't have a touchscreen computer, or have your signature already saved as a file, you can draw a signature from your phone and it will connect in, and it'll save it for you. So that's a nice little feature if you have PDF that you need to have signed. When you're done, I'm going to actually go back in and mark this up one more time, just so you can see this. When you're done working on the document, I'll come back in here. There's a couple different options you have up here for sharing the document, printing, but saving and downloading. This download is really where we want to go next and talk about that. You can download as you see here to your computer as a PDF, and you can either do the original without the annotation layer, or you can do with annotations. I can also choose to save to Google Drive. And there is one important consideration here. It says flatten annotations. If you want to make this permanent, you're going to flatten the annotations, meaning you're going to take those highlighted sections or all those different annotations that you've made, and you're going to kind of merge them into the original document so it becomes one uneditable PDF. If you choose not to flatten the annotations, and I were to save this document right now, that one highlight segment there that I put in would go in as a comment that you could resolve, and it would actually take the highlight away. And it doesn't bring that, and it doesn't preserve that color. So I used green. If I do this without flattening the annotations, it will kind of treat it as an editable element, as a comment that was inserted in. So I want to preserve it. I'm going to choose to flatten the annotations. I'm going to go to Google Drive. I'm going to select my folder. And let's see here. We'll put it right back in the folder that I was working on. Oh, I'm going to select that one. Sorry, there's the folder selection. I'm going to do all pages, and I'm going to begin the export. Now I can choose to open Google Drive right from here. It should take me right to that folder, and you will see the two. So the original is right here down below it. And then at 1242, you can see I have the exported one from Cami. If I open this, there's my preserved highlighted statement. And if I go back to the original one, you can see that it is imported in as kind of a comment. And if I resolve it, it will take that highlighted statement away. So that's the difference between just simply saving the document from Cami versus flattening it and preserving it, almost like taking a snapshot of the document itself. So that is Cami. That is the Cami annotation tool for PDF documents. If you have something that is in PDF format, it's not editable because you don't have the software to do so, you can at least use Cami to put in through a annotation layer on top of it, and you can kind of mark it up. Now, again, the version you saw today was the EDU licensed version, so it has all of these tools available to you. If you are using the free version, you'll have a reduced set, but you're certainly free to try that out and explore the options that Cami has to offer for any of your PDF documents. Now, I'm just taking a quick look. No questions are coming in at this time, so I want to thank you for your time today and hope you join me for my next episode.